What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. Today we're talking about how to make gold in Season of Discovery, and not only that, but I'm going to give you one of my current best gold farms that I'm personally doing, and because of that I want to say a massive thank you to anyone who has purchased and checked out my classic WoW gold making guide so far. This one is made for every single type of classic WoW, like classic era, classic hardcore, and most recently Season of Discovery as well. And because of that, videos like this will also be available in early access, so not only are you getting the guide itself, like a 134 pages long guide and more than 50 different gold farms, the best investments and so on, you're also getting early access to any videos that I make, including this specific video, just so I can personally help you guys make more gold in the current version of the game, like for example Season of Discovery, and we're doing this in Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and so on. This is going to be early access video number 14, I believe, so far in Phase 1, so just imagine how much gold we can make in Phase 2 if we keep doing this. So if you want to have early access to videos just like this one in the future, then please check out the guide, the link is down below. You're also getting the guide itself, obviously, 134 pages as you can see right now on the screen, and access to a private gold making community where I'm sharing my best secrets to make gold. Either way, if you want to check that out, the link is down below. It really does help me out, so once again, thank you so much. Either way, let's talk about the gold making method for today. It's super simple in principle, and you can make it more complicated and more worth it for you personally by just adding a couple of steps. So I'm going to show you my location. It's been on the screen all the time, so some of you might have figured out where I am by now, but I'm in Shimmering Flats and I'm at Wiesel's Crater. It's located right here in the Shimmering Flats, and the whole purpose of this strategy that we're using today is finding a location where there's 3, 4, or 5, maybe even 6 mining materials or mining nodes in one condensed area. In this case we are using iron ore because they're really valuable, and I'll show you why in a second, but we're using a high density. It's 4 different nodes in this place with iron ores, and it's a place that isn't really being farmed that much, and you can stand here and get these nodes every single time they spawn. So here's why you're farming for iron. As you can see, I just picked one up and one of them just spawned. It's taken 4 minutes by the way, and one of them just spawned again. So you can actively stay here and farm the nodes, or you can layer swap. If you have something called Nova World Buffs, for example, it's going to tell you what layer you're currently on, which I personally actually do have, but I have to target like a non-playable character to activate the layering system. But yeah, I'm using Nova World Buff to track my own layer and my guild layers, so I'm trying to swap layers to get even more iron nodes. But even just standing on the same layer, they will spawn all the time. I'm gonna see if one of them spawns now during this video, but yeah, you can see in my bags, I've been here for about 5 minutes. We've gotten 8 iron ores, they're selling for 5 silver each, that's 40 silver. We also have 5 from the lesser moonstones, but the main gold maker, well, I guess not the main one, but it really adds to the value, that is the heavy stones. They're going for 14 silver each, and we have 3 of them. So for example, you can, let's just say you got 4 ticks on a iron vein, you would then get 20 silver from iron ores. And if you get 1 heavy stone per tick, that is like what, 60 silver, so you could make 80 silver from 1 iron vein without getting any gems. Now the main reason for this is that you kind of have to go out into very high level zones right now to find iron veins, because even though they can spawn in zones like wetlands and duskwood, there's a very weird mechanic going on right now. It's not even weird, it just kind of makes sense, where gold is the rare version of iron, and gold requires 155 skill, which we can't possibly at the moment get, which means that, for example, in Duskwood, there's currently, like I tried to do a lap today, I only found 1 possible spawn for iron deposits. Every other spawns that I was looking at on every single layer, they had gold veins on them, which means that over time, if you farm every single one of these iron nodes and they turn out to be a gold vein, there won't be any iron left. So you will, like, in order to find iron right now, you really have to go out of your way to find an area that is not being farmed and that hasn't gotten those rare gold vein spawns. So for example, Duskwood today was just filled with gold and I couldn't get the gold veins because 155 requirement, so I had to go somewhere else. And this place is absolutely perfect. Once again, you do have 4 different veins spawning around this place, so you have 4 node locations, and you just here's what you can do. You can either stand here like I'm doing right now and wait for something to spawn, or you can do what my friend has been doing. He logs in here, logs out, and checks back in once every 15 minutes, and by doing that you will guarantee yourself pretty much 1 iron vein every 15 minutes. You can even go down to 1 every 10 minutes or something like that, but the premise is you just stand here, collect 1 to 2 veins, log out, log back in, and repeat that same process and do something else when you logged out. So if you just use this as a substitute for some other farm, where you log into here, you gather those 1 or 2 veins that are available, you then log out for 15 minutes and go and level up an alt, play your main, go and farm a different gold farm, then every 15 minutes you log back in and check this place, there should be a mining vein up. And speaking of, one of them just spawned. It's a gold vein as you can see, but it just proves the point that they spawn kind of fast, because I haven't really been pausing this video, and throughout the 6 minutes we've been here, we've gathered pretty much 3 veins, because I just picked one up right before recording. So in 6 minutes, we've gotten 3 veins on 1 layer. Now imagine if you layer swap as well, which I'm probably going to do now because this one spawned as a gold vein, so now I'm going to layer swap to a brand new layer, which hopefully only has iron veins, and just keep the show rolling that way. So method number 1, stand in this place, wait for something to spawn. Method number 2, gather whatever is here, then log out for 15 minutes and check back in like once every 15 minutes and just do something else in between. And method number 3 is layer swap. So there's 3 different ways to actually do a farm like this, and I wanted to bring this up now because it's a great farm in phase 1, but we have something similar coming in phase 2. For example, we have the mithril veins that you can see down here, the ooze covered mithril veins. If you can mine mithril in phase 2, and if it turns out to be really valuable, then doing this specific method we're doing up here, but down at this place instead, for the ooze covered mithril veins, could be a huge gold mine. And we have so many more of those, just like this one. We have the ones in Tanaris as well. It's going to be more difficult being in Tanaris, it's level 50 mobs, but you for example have the craters down here, and you have the craters down here as well. Really high density, ooze covered mithril locations that you can do the exact same strategy in that I'm doing right now, just with mithril this time around. You even have one in Ferrolas as well, like for example down here, or even all the way over here, where you're once again doing the same thing. You're either logging out and checking once every 15 minutes, or you're layer swapping, or you're simply standing here and waiting for something to spawn. It's a really good farm, and even right now with the current price of iron veins and heavy stones, it's probably one of the most valuable farms out there, especially based on the time spent. If you log in once every 15 minutes, you're probably gonna end up getting like what, the 6 gold per hour, but that's like 1 minute of work and 58 minutes of being offline. So it's really high value for the time you actually spend being here. I also just want to highlight, this is not the only place you can do this. You can even do it in, for example, this cave right here in Wetlands, which you can use the exact same strategy to do it over there as well, but there will be some high level mobs. Just like right now, there are high level mobs around me all the time, so if you want to be inside a cave, just be even more careful, or be on a hunter, for example. This is the one place that I'm personally using. There's a bunch more out there, but at least now you have 2 examples for phase 1 and 3 examples for phase 2. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and the gold making strategy. If you learned something new here today, then please let me know in the comments down below. And if you try it out, let me know how much gold per hour you make, also in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.